All right, we got a surprise treat for you guys. Border Czar Tom Homan is with me right now. And it's so nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by the Breitbart area, the White House. Big day yesterday for this administration. I think the president had a good chance to frame up some of the things that are most important to you, which is really that what's happened with our border and immigration system is a humanitarian crisis. And it harms Americans, it harms people who are coming into the country illegally. I don't know if I've seen such a clear articulation of that as I saw yesterday, but I want to get your perspective.
No, I thought it was the best speech he's done. And he's done a lot of great ones. But last night, he hit the nail on the head, right? We have the most secure border in the history of this country. Nothing even close, even better than Trump 45. But the message is we're going to enforce immigration law. Because we're enforcing immigration law and we prioritize public safety threats, every illegal alien public safety threat we've taken off the street, and there have been hundreds of thousands of them, makes this country safer again. Look at the crime rate. President Trump promised to make America safe again. That's exactly what we're doing. He promised mass deportation. That's exactly what he's doing. He promised secure border. That's exactly what we're doing.
The reluctance from the Democrats to embrace that we deserve a border, that Americans deserve to be protected and to be prioritized over illegal aliens. Have they always been this way? Because it feels like they just keep running headlong into this paradigm where illegal aliens are more important than American citizens, and I can't fully understand it.
I've never seen it like this. As a matter of fact, last night I was shocked. I wasn't surprised, but I was shocked they actually sat during President Trump's, said, put American citizens ahead of illegal aliens, stand up and support that. Yeah, I was shocked that they would sit there.
Yeah.
To show the American people that as a representative of Congress, as a senator or congressman, I do not support American citizens over illegal aliens. That tells you everything they know. No, yes. They've lost their minds. I mean, I've been doing this 40 years. I worked for 6 different presidents. I worked for Democrat presidents and Republican presidents. Back in my day with Obama, I got the Presidential Rank Award for Distinguished Service for removing a record number of illegal aliens. Right. Now, they call ICE the Nazis and the Gestapo for doing the same thing we did in the Obama administration.
Yes.
I've never seen it this bad, and I think the American people see it too.
And in the response, Abigail Spanberger, Democrat, Virginia governor, called out ICE agents for wearing masks. Can you please clarify, why do ICE agents wear masks?
Because their death threats are up over 8,000%. Actual assaults are over 1,400%. And look, not only are they doxing the agents, they're doxing their wives and kids or their spouses. And I know for a fact, I got death threats against my wife and kids. They said, we're going to kill your wife and kids, so you live the rest of your life knowing that because you did what you did with this administration, you're going to suffer the rest of your life. The director of ICE, they filmed his wife walking to work. They got his kids on social media. They're not just attacking ICE, they're attacking their families. So yeah, they're wearing a mask to protect themselves from this doxing and assault on their families. And Congress wants a mask taken off, then pass legislation that makes it a felony to dox an ICE agent. Protect our agents. And they say, well, other law enforcement don't wear a mask. Tell me another law enforcement agency that has an 8,000% increase in death threats. There isn't any. So yes, ICE is acting differently. I don't like masks either, but the situation in right now, it calls to them to protect themselves and their families.
So important. I want to turn back to the United States in a moment, but I've got to get your thoughts on taking out El Mencho in Mexico. This is one of the baddest terrorists in the world, someone who is intricately involved in the smuggling that takes place, human and drugs, from Mexico in the United States. My first thought is, who do you credit that successful mission with? Is it just the Mexican military personnel, or does President Trump share in a lot of the credit there?
President Trump deserves the majority of the credit because, look, I've been doing this for a long time. The Mexican government has failed to take on the cartels for decades, right? Number one, they never had the willpower, I don't think. They failed for 40 years. So I've been around. I think the President Trump's leadership, our intelligence capabilities led to that arrest, and we're not done. President Trump designated these cartels terrorist organizations, and he's going to do everything he can to wipe them off the face of the earth.
So one thing that I want to connect with what you just mentioned about the ICE agents, how they're going after wives and children. What did the cartel do after El Mencho got taken out? They start terrorizing the tourists. They start terrorizing the people in the neighborhood that is terrorism. They're trying to make it so that, well, if you come after us, then we're going to torture innocents. That should get people fired up, yet I hadn't seen that framed up that way.
No, they're not. They're putting politics over public safety. Look, a big part of the media, they hate President Trump.
Yeah.
It's politics over common sense. They don't want to see him have a win. Well, guess what? We're winning every day. And I tell you what, if the terrorist organization, these drug cartels, harm a U.S. citizen, God help them.
Yes.
Because the president's going to rain that hell down on them, and they'll wish it. Look, I remember back in the early 80s, they tortured and murdered a DEA agent.
Yeah.
Keep your camera on him. Full force of U.S. intelligence law enforcement rained down on Mexico, and what happened? They turned over the people who caused that. God help these cartels if they're going to harm Americans. There's threats against Border Patrol doing something on the border. Hope to God it doesn't happen, but it'll be the worst thing they could ever do because all hell is going to break loose on them.
My biggest fear is that even though we have a successful mission against El Mencho, that the cartels just can swap him in, interchangeable. Do you think he was a uniquely bad guy and this could be a longer standing win? Or do you feel like the cartel is going to regroup, head of a hydra, cut it off, regrows?
They're going to try to regroup and
Yeah.
just, President Trump destroyed ISIS and after he got out of office, they regrouped, right? So look, he was the most prolific, dangerous cartel leader in the world.
Yeah.
Took out the kingpin. But it doesn't stop there. I know every day in this building you're standing in, we got national security specialists, intelligence specialists looking to identify who the cartels are, where they're operating, where their labs are. There's much more to come. Just watch what happens in the next couple of years.
We're looking forward to it. And it is sometimes, you never know, because I was thinking about the Soleimani attack from the first administration. I don't think Iran's been the same. So there is sometimes you get a big guy and things really do change in a remarkable way. So we got our fingers crossed there. I want to ask you next about the data. The president laid out some stark data. Basically no border crossings, and then of course some of the economic stuff, all the job growth coming back to Americans. But we're making the border ridiculously safe. What have you heard from agents down there at the border? Is life just completely changed now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we went from 15,000 crossings a day, and yesterday we had 160 that appeared at the border, and all were arrested and removed, or detained and removed. Nobody released. In the last almost 10 months now, no illegal alien has been released from the border.
Yes.
That is never heard of.
Right.
I went down there. I just got back from a trip 3 weeks ago. I went on the border in California, Arizona, Texas, and New Mexico. By boat, by four-wheel drive, by plane. 3 days. I didn't see a single illegal alien. I've done this for 40 years, since 1984. I've never seen that. The most secure border in the history of the nation, and the data proves it. President Trump's right. Having a secure border increases our national security profile. Strong border means stronger national security. A strong border means less fentanyl overdose deaths. It means less non-suspected terrorists. It means less sex trafficking of women and children. President Trump's literally saving thousands of lives a year by securing that border.
So you're a nonpartisan guy, as far as I can see. You just care about Americans being safe and secure, trying to keep peace. What is the message to people who might not be, I have mostly conservative audience, but just people in general who don't understand where people like us come from, where we think a secure border is the best thing for Americans and a good thing for the world in general because it does not indulge those cartel, that whole economy that they have to engage in nefarious behavior and to make money off of it. What's the message to normal people who need clarity in this matter?
A secure border saves lives. Look, people say that the Trump administration is inhumane, the Biden administration is much more humane. Bunch of crap. Over 4,000 aliens died making that journey under Joe Biden. Historic record. 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl coming across an open border. An historic record. His policies were killing aliens at record numbers, killing Americans at record numbers. President Trump has illegal immigration on 96%, which means 96% less people are coming. Studies have been done that 31% of women that make that journey through the cartels get raped. So when President Trump has 96% less people coming, how many women are being raped? How many pounds of fentanyl doesn't come across the border to kill Americans? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked? How many billions of dollars is the cartel not making? President Trump's, again, secure border saves lives. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. You don't cross that border without paying off the criminal cartels who control the plazas, the areas where they smuggle people. Secure borders saving lives. The data proves it. Just understand illegal immigration. I'll say it over and over again. It's not a victimless crime. People think, well, they just come to the country for a better life. But you don't understand the whole process come here. And while these people come across the border for a better life, entering illegally, they cheated the system. They're cheaters. There are millions of people in this world who are taking their tests, paying their fees, doing a background investigation to be part of the greatest nation on earth. How about them? They're sitting in the back seat while millions of people in Joe Biden cheated and put themselves in front of the line. We're a nation, we're the most giving nation in the world. We welcome more refugees than other nation in the world. We gotta do legal immigration because we gotta control what and who comes in this country. Do it the right way. You wanna be part of the greatest nation on earth? Then don't break our laws first thing you do.
Border Czar Tom Homan, exactly what I wanted to hear you say. Thank you for being here again.
Appreciate you.